What's up, everybody? My name is Sid, and today we are going to start a series of front end interview questions. In this video, I'm going to cover two questions which are most likely to be asked. So, this series will be focusing on more on algorithm which are mostly asked in the JavaScript front end interview setup. So, here I have two questions. The first question is find the unique character, the first unique character, and the second is finding the maximum character that have occurred in your given input. So I'm going to explain you how to take approach, how to build up your approach solving a problem, and then jump into the real implementation. So many times you start your implementation without putting much thought into it. So here is a question. Here we need to find out the first unique character. So if you see this, the input, we have A, which have occurred twice. A here and this 2, 0, 1, 2, and then B have occurred twice, and then D occurred once. So the character which have occurred just one here is the unique character, and this is the first unique character, because it might be possible you have more character which is like same number of times it has been repeated, right? So let's say this F is also 1 and D is also 1. Since D occurred first time and D occurred before than F and is unique, so D will be your correct answer. So how to solve this problem? So here we are going to use two loops. Okay, so there are two approaches. The first thing is we can use split function on this string. So using the split, what it does, it creates an array. So if this is your string and you use split on it, what it does, and with a quotation, so what it does, it will create an array like this: A, B, and A, B, and D. So this is what the split does, so that after splitting it you can use array on it, like you can use for each, and then in for each you will be getting each element in each iteration. And second is, or you can use for loop instead of split. So I'll show you both the ways. And you have to create a map hash. You have to use a hash map here. So let's say you have char map, or you say char, whatever you want to say. So you have this map, and you have to create a map like how much time may have occurred, then how many times, not much, how many times B have occurred. Okay, like this. So once you have built up your hash map, then you have to create another loop to find out which is that character in that particular string have occurred once, and that will be your answer as the unique character. So let's solve this. Let's remove this, and by the way, I'm using extension Coca, and once here if I console anything, it will be logging all this information on this particular screen only. Here I don't have to use terminal to log the output, so you can also use Coca. It's quite interesting and quite usable. So we'll create a hash map. Char map is equal to, this is an empty object, and then you can use char dot split quotation, and you can use for each, and you will be getting each element one by one here, And now you need to put a condition. If your char map doesn't have anything, right, then you have to assign the char map of that element to 1, and then if it already exists, then you have to increment that item to 1. And once you have done this, now you have to use a for loop here, where I will be equal to 0. The index will start from 0 here, and then it will go check if I less than char of len I plus plus, and if your char of I, right, so if your char map of char of I is triple equal to 1, then that is your answer. Okay, that will be your answer. So here char of I will be your answer. So here char of I represent the index of your string, right? I is 0. If I is 0, then it will be this. So in string, you get the method like you can find it through index. You can use index on that. You get the method of split. So you get several methods on string. So here you can access the index of string as well. Okay, so this is what if this will return your answer. So yeah, you can see you have already get an output which is D. So if D repeated twice, there's nothing, right? You can return there is no unique character in the given input string, and when you have a unique, it will show you the output. So I hope you understand this pretty well. And the next question is finding the maximum character in a given string, finding the most occurred character in a given input of string. So here if you see S occurred twice, T occurred once, E occurred twice, and J occurred once, and O occurred once, then B occurred once. Yep, so this is what, and the maximum number of time where this character occurs is S, which is twice, where you can see that E also occurred twice, right? So since S come first here, so your output will be S. Let's try to solve this again. So again we have to figure it out that how many times each character have occurred. For that we have to create a hash map. So let's say char map with an empty object here, and then we'll take this code, we'll use it. If you see here, you'll get an output if you log char map. So we have already built and identified how many times or which character occurred, and then we have to use basically another loop for let I is equal to 0. I is an index which we define, and from where it should start. I less than char dot len. So again, string also offer you a method called length to find out the length of a string. So here what we have to do is we have to find, we'll create a variable max occurred car, which is, let's assume it to be index 0 of the given input. So at least you have to assume first, okay, this has been occurred many times so that you can compare when you're using loop. So let's say I have assumed that S is the most occurred. Actually, in this answer, it does. Okay, and suppose S is not. Let's say you don't have S in the Steve Jobs, so the maximum character will be E. So here you need to check that if char map of curve I is greater than char map of max occurred char, then your max occurred char will be char of I. So char of I will be keep on incremented, right? So initially we defined max occurred as S, and then we find out E. Okay, E is not greater than that. Okay, E is actually greater than that, right? Yep. So E will be 2, and then char of I, this loop will be 0, 1, 2. So when indexing it, so I will become 2. So char of I will be E, right? And now finally you need to return the max socket char, and the answer will be E. Answer will be E here. So here I'm using the shorthand syntax. So if your key and your value is same, right, then you don't have to mention this. You can just mention that key, and JavaScript will be figured out this value of this. Internally it will assign the same variable name as a value. So you got it. So if you write S here, you'll get the answer S. So I hope you understand this question pretty well and see how it's quite interconnected to each other, and how your approach to the problem bring closer to the solution, and how you can use that approach into the other question as well. And one more thing, let's say your interviewers say that you don't have to use the built-in split method. So for that you can use for loop. Okay, you can comment it out. You can use the same loop. Okay, and then this logic will be same. But one thing, you have to change it here, because now there is no item here. Instead of that, you have to use char of I, because here each element will be looping, and each element it will be going one by one, right? In char map, this is how you access with this notation, and this is basically your string. When it access char of I, it is basically accessing your string here. So now you see you still get this value, so you can use it here as well. Yep, you get this value. I have one more bonus for you here. So what if you have to, let's say, interview say, give me all maximum character which have occurred irrespective of first or last. Let's say you have S came twice and E came twice, and so how are you going to return that? Okay, and one more thing, that is, let's say you have been asked that after that finding the maximum character, give the value as well. So it's pretty easy, right? You just need to give the max occurred char value, and this can be any string name of your choice. Then it will be char map of that max char occurred. Remember, as we are trying to access the value of s here. If I log the char map of log, to access a char map, we are basically having this map and we are trying to access the value of this element here. So now coming back to the previous question, how to produce the output where you need to show if your maximum character which have occurred have like more than one value, like here s you have e as well. So for that, let's take a variable, right, where we are will be storing, we'll be getting an array, right? Max occurred char array, and this will be an empty array. So here what we'll be doing here, that first we'll put a check. Okay, if max occurred char dot includes char of I, then continue basically skipping. So why we are doing it here? Because let's say s, right, here when we'll be adding a check here in this, let's say, because we need to check if that particular character value is same. So when we'll be adding this if condition here, that if max occurred char, sorry, if not just the same condition, if char map of char of I is triple equal to char map of max occurred char, in this case s and e having the same value, when this condition arrive, it will come inside this if, and here you need to assign max occurred char array equal to max occurred char array dot concat char of I. So here's one thing, right? Let's say you will be adding as e in the max. Let me output this. Okay, so as e is your max character array, right? Both having the value 2 here, but let's say you having another character t. Let's write it here to better understand it. T, not t occurs thrice, 3 times, and here you should only get the output t. Okay, so for that you need to give a check if at any point of time, you have this exceeded your max char array, then what you have to do, that you have to assign max char array is equal to that particular char of I. Now you'll get this correct answer. And if you don't do this, now you get s or t only, because you're not even getting e here. So I would like to explain that. So s was the initial maximum, right? And when it was initially maximum, that time, like char of I here, it was 1, and char map of max occurred, which is s, it was 1. So it put that particular character s in that array. But when t came, t was 3 twice, it occurred 3 times. So that time it it came here, max occurred character become t, right? And it, when this t again came, it checked that it is equal to 3, is equal to 3, right? In the char map, t, let me try, let me log that char map for you to better understand. Char map, char map. So t is 3, right? Char map of I is 3, and char map of max occurred. Char map of max occurred is max occurred. We assign it t, so it came inside and concat and added t along with s. But in this case, we had to update our array. We didn't do that. So in this case, we have to, whenever we see that something occurred, element have exceeded the previous value of the character, then we have to update this, and we are changing the entire array value and assigning it to one single character within an array. Here we are using, and so it becomes t only that time. So you see the max occurred character is t, this value is 3, max occurred character is also 3, array is also 3. But let's say e also occurred 3 times. See, you're giving the correct output, but let j occurred 3, this is correct output, and j occurred 4. Now it is updating and you're getting the correct value. So thank you everyone. I hope you would have enjoyed this lesson, and it's very important to practice and very important to find out the question and ask yourself what I can do to, like, what else I can do with that particular problem, and that will help you to build the logic building of your exercise. You're able to exercise your logic, you will be able to solve more and more algorithm. Okay, hope you like this video. Please subscribe, and if you like this video, then give a thumbs up. I'll meet you in the next video. Bye bye.